Hello. In this video, I was going to show you how to just a way. I have a fear as a printmaker of the watercolor brushes that could come with certain apps and or brushes that are in Procreate. And in this video, I was going to show you how you can take a drawing from Procreate and export it to your laptop as a PSD file. And so also this one is an interesting illustration because there's line work. And then there's a lot of shading. So I'll go through and kind of look at, I can tell that this is line work, and then this is a little bit more. What I might do is just put those in a folder, and uh, um, a folder group or creating a new group for of layers is down here in the bottom of the layers palette. And maybe I'll just call that line work. And then when I put this together, I have to see where I must have had some reason for certain things. Okay, so I'm actually bringing that white in, and it might be between two layers. Anyway, so it's good to just kind of go through and it looks like these two layers are actually where I brought in shading, and I should have been better about naming them as I went. I can put those into a second folder named layered shading. All right. Now what I'll usually do is go ahead and like save this as like an original file. And my personal naming system, I usually use the year, the month, and then the day I made a drawing. And usually I'll quite often there are some spelling errors. So this one should have said Hamilton, not Hamilton. And maybe if sometimes my raw drawing, I'll just kind of keep it Procreate and then I'll call this one layers. Now, let's just say I'm going to letterpress or screen print this. So next I have this raw drawing, and if I hit Command Option I in Photoshop, or go up here to image and then find image size, I can see right now I have options with this. I could let's just say this could be a drawing that I bring in as part of, and it could go into an 8 by 10 print, and I'll pair it with some typography above it. So if that's the case, I might want to just double check, what is the layout that I'll be doing this into? And let's just say that will be, or I could also go in here, and if I have the newest Photoshop, I like to use this resample preserve details 2.0, and let's just try. And it's applying that, and it's going to scale it up. Also, what I'll do is while I'm in here, I notice I have this left over. While I'm drawing, sometimes I will kind of note what brush I'm using and what's the line weight I'm working at. That way I can understand my print limitations. So let's just say now this will make an interesting 11 by 17 print. And what I would do next is just kind of understand or think about, okay, so I have my size. It's going to be 17 inches wide, and it's going to be just under. It'll be like 9.5 inches tall, so there'll be some like white space on top. And what I like to do is keep my line weight without being affected by those halftones. And maybe what I'll do is I'll just duplicate this group. If I hold down Control, this drop-down menu comes up and I can do duplicate group. And then I can tell it to go to a new document. And this is the reason why I did that. Now I can go into here and change this to a grayscale. And I can go ahead and merge. I don't need the layers anymore. Then I'm going to go over into bitmap. And I'm going to go ahead and make this 300, and I might have to match my resolution in the other document. I'm going to go to halftone screen, and if I want to do only a one color print, what I typically like to do is change this to round, but you can try different ones. Round is kind of a very traditional halftone in newspaper printing. And then instead of going 45-degree angles, sometimes I like to start at a 50. And basically, just that 5 degrees helps the eye, maybe even 55. Um, when it's on 90s and 45s, I notice that the eye can kind of see the halftones a bit more. And then I have found that I think 45 as a frequency or the DPI or this will be the lines per inch is an okay starting point for letterpress. Maybe even 40. And then when I'm in screen printing, depending upon the inks I'm using, sometimes I'm at 36 for metallics. Is that what I do? Or sometimes even 30 for metallics. Let's just say I'm going to set a nice 40. And so this will look like that now. And then I can go back to this document, pull this under here. And I'm going to go ahead and before I bring that other halftone in, I have to match the resolution to 300. And 300 is just a nice even I think it's a typical resolution that's been in the industry for the past 20 years. Now I can just go ahead and hit copy. I'll select all by hitting Command A, then Command C, then going back over here and hitting Command V. And that adds those halftones in. And then what I'm going to do is while it's still fresh in my memory, I'm going to call this round halftones. And then I will call it, I think it was 55 degrees and 40 DPI. And I like to do that so when I remember it later, I'll know what I did. Now, if I was going to send this off as a plate 2, and I can go ahead and hit save, I might also have to go into here and I might make my line work on this layer actually multiply. And the reason why I did that is in this area, if I pull that, put that back to pass through, that one little blocking layer where I used white, here's normal, and then this is multiply. I was blocking out an area with white. I could easily just go in there and just like delete that information, but basically that was what I was using to block out some details that I made. But anyway, kind of got off subject. If I was going to then, I'll go ahead and save this while I have this, and that'll be good for posterity. And then if I was going to send this to Boxcar Press, I would do save as. And actually what I'm going to do is first I'm going to go ahead and flatten. I'm then going to go back up to grayscale and discard all those colors. I'm then going to go to bitmap. And what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to choose 50% threshold and change this to 1200. I think they prefer their TIFs to be at 1200. And then when I do this 50% threshold, that just everything in here should either already be black and white, but it will just force that. And then this is what that should look like. And then I will just do a save as, a TIFF for them. And I will take off the layered part of that file and hit save. And then I think they also want LZW compression. And then if I was going to screen print this and print this onto a transparency, usually what I'll do is just keep it at 300. And depending upon your printer, sometimes they prefer them at RGB for a richer black color tone on their inkjet transparency printer. And sometimes they prefer grayscale. And that's it.